Hello everyone, this is Xalen from LittleNerdyAX, and today I will be drawing Yoshi. This is a sped up video, so what actually took me an hour is only going to be under 10 minutes, so let's go into a few details here. As you can see, I'm starting off with drawing a yellow brush, making just broad strokes, trying to get the gesture, the basic shapes down. I'm not a professional artist necessarily, I don't get paid to do art, but I do enjoy drawing and I did go to school for it, so this is the fruits of those labors, basically. Yoshi's a pretty simple character, especially the woolly versions. I don't have to worry about fingertips or anything like that. So I figured this would be, a good tutorial just to throw up, or guide, I guess, of just me kind of going at it for what I know. As I move on to the second Yoshi, I'm doing a different pose for that one. I'm kind of going off of one of my favorite Woolly World poses, which is the ducking pose. I think it's pretty adorable, so I'm like, I'm going to include that in here. I haven't really given much thought to composition or anything like that. So I'm just drawing, what image I see in my head, and then we'll try to work out something for it later. So now I'm going back over my yellow sketch lines with a small black brush. I'm not using any special brushes. These are the regular round ones, and I'm just tracing over it to get basically the final line art that I'm going to be using and coloring from. Again, beautiful, not having to worry about fingers or toes. Not that Yoshis have any toes, but the woolly versions of the Yoshis are very simple, and quite frankly, for this thumbnail, that's what I like. And now we're going to focus on the second Yoshi, touching up with the shell and the head and all the other shapes. Again, small black brush, just going over the rough lines that I had before, and just trying to make things a little bit cleaner, a little bit more crisp. Again, this was sped up from an hour footage, so I'm not really too concerned with line quality, and it's going to be a thumbnail, so the image is going to be primarily small. So now I'm going to go in and just kind of check some of the details. I'm going to turn off the rough line art, and I'm just going to go and focus now. I'm only on the black lines. I didn't like the way his eyes were looking, so I'm kind of playing around, trying to see how I want the eyes to look, and I think I'm going to go with the individual pupils. A little bit of cleanup, just get some of these extra lines that may show up. We don't want that. So now I'm just going to copy and paste one Yoshi in an effort to split them up and have them on separate layers. My intent basically is to work on one Yoshi at a time. Now, I feel I have a slightly unique approach when it comes to coloring. I use a magic wand tool to select massive areas of things I want to be the same color, and then I apply a solid color mask to it, I guess that's what it's called. And I kind of pick, what color I want certain elements to be. When it comes down to the tongue, as you can see here, I know that I'm not going to change the color of it, so I just paint onto the line art layer. I'm also going ahead and I chose just a flat color for the background, just so I can make sure I'm not missing any areas as I begin to color, which tends to happen a lot when I'm working really fast like this. So again, going in, selecting areas I want to be the same color and changing them. I do not want to necessarily use a white. I avoid white all the time. I usually go with different variations because I think that white shows up, or things can appear white in contrast to what they're next to. So there's a theory for that. And you guys remember that? Put it in the comments below. And so yeah, I'm just going to go out here, pick out some kicks. Kind of want Yoshi to look a little fly. So whatever colors goes best with this kind of like cerulean baby blue or whatever shape I'm using, I'm going to go with that. And of course, those wonderful yellow souls. And again, I'm just renaming some of the layers just for organization's sake and putting them all into a folder. On to the next Yoshi. Not much is going to change from the way I approached this one with the previous one. Just choosing the basic colors, magic wand tool, solid color mask, and then just going through variations. I've thrown in the other Yoshi to see what kind of contrast I'm working with as far as colors go, but also because I wanted to reuse some of the colors as reference and then kind of tweak them, because I've noticed that the little red bumps on the back of Yoshi's head, certain colors have small little variations of them. So I'm just going to play along with that. Again, using the previous Yoshi as kind of reference. Gotta work on them shoes. He has to have different kicks from the other Yoshi. Not all Yoshis wear the same shoes. So I gotta find a color that kind of works for him. And now that I've done that, I'm just gonna put that into its own folder. And now we're gonna work on composition. I didn't think of any composition earlier, so I'm just kind of going with the drawings that I did and kind of hoping they work out, which in this case I kind of think they do. And if you don't know, I'm basically using the transform tool to rotate and flip and size them. I'm going back to the second Yoshi and just trying to pick a color that kind of pops a little bit more. That's the benefit of using those color masks. Speaking of color mask, I've done the same thing to the ball, but now I'm going to use my knowledge of masks to kind of build a folder that will allow me to texture it, but also kind of adjust it, because quite frankly, I like to work safely, so I like to have a lot of forgiveness when I make decisions. So I grabbed an image of a yarn ball just somewhere from the internet, and I'm kind of twisting it, and morphing it so that it fits into the shape that I've drawn. And then what I've done is I've put the original color layer mask and the reference image or texture into a folder that basically will also have a mask. I'm simply going to apply a similar technique to the other Yoshi, the light blue Yoshi, just to kind of give it some texture. Again, it's my first time even like texturing with wool or with Yoshi, so I'm not quite sure how these things are supposed to look. But I grabbed something that looked kind of fun, and now I'm playing around with the filter settings, trying to make it look like it's a part of it, but not necessarily changing the color. So every now and then I'll get this really ugly like red and blue color. I don't know where that came from or whatever, but eventually I kind of find something that I like to settle on. Now I'm just going to make another layer, basically with a regular black brush and very low opacity. I'm just going to add some shading to give it form. I'm not going to warp the texture or anything like that. I haven't quite mastered that yet, but I figure just applying, a light brush, dark edges or whatever will make things look a little bit more round, giving them, again, a sense of form and overall better look. Don't worry, Orange Yoshi, I didn't forget about you. You're up next. Now keep in mind that I am using a folder with a mask on it, and all the contents in there are going to be restricted to that mask. This includes the, I guess the shade or the shadows that I'm adding to give the characters form, and of course the original colors and the imported textures. Now I'm primarily just going to spend some time kind of touching it up, making sure that the shadows aren't too dark or look too weird, and also playing around with the texture to make sure it's not too heavy like it was before, and that's a little more subtle because again, I'm doing this all in under an hour, so I'm not really taking the time to morph or anything like that, and quite frankly, I think it looks pretty good. Well, I think I'm pretty satisfied with the work that I've done here in this hour. I'm finished. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and look forward to more content from LittleNerdyAX.
Hi everybody!
Hello, thank you for watching our video, and if you enjoyed it, please remember to click the like button below and subscribe for more LittleNerdyAX action in the future. Also, don't forget to leave any comments and share it with your friends. We will see you next time. See you later, Space Cowboy.
Boom, you got that one.